Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, they wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.
My name is Adam Conrod, and I am one of the original fans of the Dukes of Hazzard. We have a very special guest with us here tonight, Mr. John Schneider, Bo Duke himself. He's going to be interviewing the original cast of the Dukes of Hazzard, from Tom Wopat to the late Denver Pyle, Jimmy Best, Rick Hurst, you name it. He interviews them, and I must say, Denver Pyle and Jimmy Best are no longer with us here. They passed on. God love them. God rest their souls. We're going to interview the actors on the set of the Dukes of Hazzard. We're going to ask John Schneider all kinds of great questions. How many general leads did you guys go through on the set of the Dukes of Hazzard when making their TV series and making their reunion movies? Anyways, I gotta say something. This hat, what you see here on my head, is named after James Best, the late James Best, who played Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane. I call this hat the Jimmy Best hat. So all you actors of the Dukes of Hazzard, from John Schneider to Tom Wopat to Catherine Bach to Rick Hurst, Sonny Schroyer, this hat is named after Jimmy Best. So all you fans out there want to know something, this hat is dedicated and named after James Best, and I call it the Jimmy Best hat. And every time when I do a Dukes of Hazzard fan film or any involvement with the Dukes of Hazzard, I always wear this hat in memory of James Best, one of the great actors who brought a lot of chemistry, comedy to the TV series, the Dukes of Hazzard. But anyways, let's go hear from John Schneider.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people have trouble believing that I actually show up to work in a orange Charger. Well, I do. You know, I'm so glad that you're here, because that means that you, just like me, are a fan of one of the most uniquely American television shows ever produced. It's called The Dukes of Hazzard. Now, we were on the air from 1979 to 1986, and it was some of the best years of my life. Now, recently, the Nashville network put the Dukes of Hazzard back on. Now, I know that you know that because that's where you've been seeing it lately, and that's where your kids have been seeing it lately. Well, because you folks have been watching it so diligently every day, Warner Brothers and CBS decided to do a brand new show called The Reunion Show, Reunion in Hazzard. Now, in December of 1996, got a chance to go back out to California in Hazzard County, which is, sorry to tell you, it's really Burbank, California. And do this wonderful show with some old friends of mine. We had a great time. One of the first things I did is I asked a bunch of folks on the show exactly what it was like being back. And these are some of the answers we got.
You know, it's just a reminder that we all really are immortal.
That's Rick Hurst. He played Cletus.
I tell you, the funny thing is all the buildings look young. The buildings are young, we're older. Well, the first one that comes to mind as you're standing here under this light bulb is the...
Keep talking, I'm gonna look at it.
As we were, one of the first episodes that we did.
Now, what Rick is talking about there is one day we had a scene where he and I were handcuffed together, and we were coming out of the police station and running at a full tilt. And what I was trying to do as Bo was run him into this post, the one that he's talking about. And what we didn't know was that the light up on top of the post, not only was it glass, but it wasn't really attached very well.
And that comes hurling down, hitting us out of the head and the shoulder with a killed 10 ordinary men. I'm telling you, we've had some hair-raising experiences here.
Let's see, is your hair raised now?
Well, yes. Well, I still got my hair. You see, I had to dye it a little bit because I'm getting older now. You got
A little wobbly. And before they made them into plastic, there was a glass one up there that almost cratered your head right next to the car. I think it bounced off your head, didn't it? It was a plastic one.
It hit my head and the car at the same time, thank the good Lord, or I would have been out of here. Of course, that's Ben Jones. He was Cooter Davenport. And you'll notice that he has an interesting way. I thought he was cleaning the car.
Oh, no, I'm working on my shirt.
Well, oh, you...
I'm working on getting my costume identified. My memory is the first time you and I rode in this was down in Covington, and we drove up past where that American Legion Hall is. Down from exit 41, Conyers, Georgia.
Woo!
Try this
Spaghetti Thursday nights, all you can eat, $2.98.
That's right, that's right. It's still there, only $3.98. The first time we sat around that swimming pool, kind of reading through, I said, this show's gonna go. And
Denver said,
Mr. Schneider, what's it like being back here?
it is so cool being back here. I can't think, like Ben said, I can't think of any way to have more fun. And it's not like we went away for 10 years or 12 years or however many years it's been. It was like we finished on a Friday and came back on a Monday. Only the trees got big. It's weird. And I want to show you something. I want to show you what I can still do. Here, I want you to see this.
we gotta see this.
No, it's okay.
Ready?
I remember seeing, it's real weird. You know, you watch the Dukes and you see the cars jumping through the air and you think, boy, that looks like fun. But when there's somebody in the car that you really care about, like Gary Baxley or Al Wyatt Jr. or Craig Baxley or any of these guys, and who are all back, Bobby Orrison. When you see this car 10, 15 feet up in the air, spitting dirt and grass out from underneath it, and know that a friend of yours is about to land really hard, it's a whole different thing. So I remember that, wondering if our friends were going to be okay, and just knowing that this has got to be the best job in the world. What's it like being back?
Like we never left.
That's what everybody says.
It's like a Twilight Zone. It's really weird.
These kids are gonna watch this.
The show where we lost our clothes, and we had to go borrow some clothes. We talked to this girl. We were kind of hiding around the edge of the house.
All
And
right.
her mother comes up behind us, and she chews out the girl for talking to us. And then I look at you and I say, "You don't know what humiliation is till you
He stood buck naked.
naked in front of a woman and she didn't even notice
Or care.
or care."
We've had more fun than is allowed.
Yeah?
We're about to have even more.
Does this thing run? Have you tried it out?
Yeah.
Let's go and take it on the back lot.
You're looking good.
Oh yeah, tell about that. We took it on the back lot one year. We came back. Was it when we came back from our little strike?
our little yes.
Our little mini strike. First thing we do is
You're a
get
little
jump,
hiatus there.
Yes.
jump into General Lee.
Yeah, you all age more during the hiatus than you have since the show ended.
Yeah, well, you did too.
We spent more.
Working with the clones. But we jumped in the car, and John, was all psyched to, take a few 180s, and we took it out on Western Street, and he racked it up.
Ran right into the blind school from Little House on the Back Lot,
That's right.
on the prairie.
The Hazzard School of the Blind.
Well, by golly,
How are you, John?
I'm good. How are you, Uncle
Good
Denver?
seed. I'm all right. I'm all right.
What's it?
Matter of fact, I'm marvelous.
You are marvelous. You are marvelous.
You're supposed to ask questions,
I'm
not
gonna.
answer.
I know. I just love you. What's it like being back here?
I was, this morning I came out of the dressing room, and there are all the drivers and the stunt guys and one thing, and then all the old friends with the same faces and so forth. And I had the impression it was like the biggest Thanksgiving, a family homecoming. It truly is. This homecoming is part of the show. And it truly is a homecoming. We've all been away for, these 10 years?
Yeah.
We've had babies, and we've married, and our sons are joining us on the set and working. It's it's family, you know?
Yeah.
Family reunion. The Dukes, this truly is the Dukes reunion. I guess one of the fondest memories is sitting down by the pool down in Georgia, and you came out of the motel and came over. Kathy and I were sitting there, and you came up and said, "I'm bold." And from there it went.
Anyway, so when they come back, see this?
What is that? What?
That's my. Don't choke me no more. I used to get strangled. You think I'm kidding there? Look at this. I'm a big man here. I'm the big chunk of cheese. No, it's big cheese. Big cheese. Big cheese.
Hey, Jimmy.
What?
How are you?
All right so far.
What's it like being back here?
I tell you, it's a deja vu, whatever that means, but that's what I understand it's supposed to mean, is that you really feel good about being back.
What's it like being back?
It's like, oh, Baby Hewitt said it best. He said it's like a time warp.
Is that right?
I don't know what that means, but it just about fits it.
You feel like 10 years has gone by?
No.
Or 20?
No, it's kind of weird, you know, because I see it on television, you know, and my mama calls me and says, "You're on television. Watch it. You."
You know, one of the things I used to like about the Dukes of Hazzard was the barroom brawl at the Boar's Nest. Now, we all don't like violence in real life, but we all like the odd barroom brawl on an entertaining TV show, especially the Dukes of Hazzard. Now, we all know when they throw the punch, they don't really connect. It's about from here to there, and the actors throw themselves back, pretending that they've been hit, but really they haven't. But anyways, John, can you show us how you guys did your fighting scenes on the Dukes of Hazzard?
Now, I was always a big fan of John Wayne, and as a little boy, I always wondered what it would be like to participate in one of those great movie barroom brawls. Well, in this show, we got to do just that. Tom and I both got to do the best fight I think we've ever done right inside the Boar's Nest. Now, in this particular scene, I want you to watch it in a couple different ways. We're going to show you a little bit about movie magic right here. Now, watch as I come after the bad guys. Got them on the floor. Pick up the one guy. We're fighting, having a great time. Now, of course, we're never actually hitting each other because we're coming, it looks like we are because the fist is coming through like this, but if we turn sideways, you'll see you can actually miss by, well, you can miss by that far. And it's a good thing to miss because you don't want to hurt any of your friends. But this sequence, if you watch it how it was actually done, doesn't look, I mean, it's exciting, but there's something missing. Well, let's see what happens. Let's run that back. All right, now let's see what happens when you add some crowd noise to the Boar's Nest. All right, there's the crowd noise. Now let's add a little music. We're going to take a song off of Worth the Wait, put that in there. All right, that sounds a little better. Still, there's something missing, though. What could it be? I know what it is. We're missing the punch sounds. Let's add the punches to this sequence right now. Take a look at it again. Here's the fight in the Boar's Nest with background music, with background talk, and with punches. I've been here alone. It's been a long Sunday. It's my heartbeat is strong. Why took you so long? Why took you so long? know why, but that's always been my idea of a good time.
Now let's get to the mother of all questions. John, I'm just wondering, how many General Lees did you guys go through during the making of the original Dukes of Hazzard series? And how many General Lees did you go through during your 1996 reunion movie when your cast got back together? Just wondering, how many General Lees did you guys go through during the making of your TV series and your reunion movie?
Now, speaking of the General Lee, people are always asking me, how many cars did you have? Was there one General Lee? As a matter of fact, we got a letter our first year. I just read it. It was a great letter. It said, what kind of a suspension do you folks have in the General Lee? Every time I jump mine, it breaks. Well, every time we jump ours, it breaks too. As a matter of fact, on the original Dukes of Hazzard, we always had about 13 General Lees ready at any given time. Because it was an old car at that point, and as you can well imagine, it's an older car now, we have to have them ready in case something goes wrong. For instance, take a look at this. Well, there's a General Lee right there. By golly, there's another General Lee over there. Now, on the Dukes reunion movie, we actually had to have 3 General Lees ready to roll at all times.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, they wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.